before the roads end, before the signal fades, before the modern world finishes speaking, there are villages where life still moves at the speed of weather. In Norway, villages are not built the land, they are shaped it. Here, mountains decide where homes stand, fjords decide when people leave, light decides how long a day truly is. This is not a journey of landmarks, it is a journey of rhythm. A slow passage through places where silence is not empty, where routine is sacred, and where time does not hurry. Stay, because the longer you listen, the more the land begins to speak. Rain arrives without warning and leaves without apology. In Bergen, umbrellas are optional, acceptance is not. The city wakes beneath low clouds that drift low enough to touch the surrounding mountains. These 7 mountains do not merely surround Bergen, they define it, trapping mist, shaping weather, and creating a rhythm that residents instinctively understand. Wooden houses in Briggen lean slightly toward one another, their colours muted but alive. These buildings have stood through fires, storms, and centuries of trade. Once merchants from across Europe arrived here, carrying salt, grain, and stories. Today, their legacy remains in narrow alleys and creaking floors. People move early. Bakeries glow before sunrise. The smell of warm bread drifts through damp air. Children walk to school in bright jackets, small bursts of colour against grey stone and sea. They learn early that rain is not an obstacle. It is simply part of the day. Trams slide along steel rails. Ferries cross the fjord with quiet determination, threading between islands and peninsulas. The water is never still, but never chaotic. It reflects the city back at itself. By afternoon, Bergen gathers along the harbour. Fishermen unload their catch. Office workers pause with coffee, watching the clouds descend and lift again. Conversations are soft. No one rushes the weather. As evening settles, lights ripple across the fjord. Homes glow warmly against the damp darkness. Rain continues, steady, familiar, reassuring. In Bergen, life does not wait for perfect conditions, it lives anyway. The valley hears the train before it sees it. Flåm lies at the deepest reach of the Ålandsfjord, where cliffs rise so steeply they seem to close the sky. The railway descends from high mountain plateaus, one of the steepest standard gauge lines in the world. When the train arrives, sound echoes from stone to stone. Visitors step onto the platform, cameras raised, voices hushed by the scale of the landscape. Residents step aside, practiced, patient, aware that movement has always passed through this place. Life in Flåm revolves around seasons of flow. Summer brings crowds and long daylight. Winter restores silence. Locals measure time not in weeks, but in the changing color of the fjord and the sound of meltwater from the mountains. Children grow up knowing both stillness and motion. They hear whistles in the morning and deep quiet at night. When the last train descends, the valley exhales, returning to itself. Flåm does not belong to arrival or departure. It exists in the space between. Between the mountains that fall sharply into water and the fjord that stretches endlessly outward. Between the rush of engines and the return of silence. Between the curiosity of those who come briefly and the patience of those who stay. In this space, time loosens its grip. Days are shaped less by schedules and more by light, weather, and sound. The valley decides the pace. Fog may descend without warning, wrapping the village in quiet mystery. Sunlight may suddenly break through, illuminating waterfalls that appear only for moments before disappearing again. Houses stand close to the water, painted in muted reds, whites, and yellows, their reflections trembling on the fjord's surface. Smoke rises slowly from chimneys in colder months, drifting upward until it dissolves into cloud. Nothing here demands attention, yet everything invites it. Those who live in Flåm understand this balance instinctively. They know when to welcome the noise of the world and when to let it fade. They know that the valley is never empty, even when it is quiet. Wind moves through grass, water presses gently against the shore, mountains settle into shadow. When night falls, the fjord darkens into a mirror of the sky. Stars appear where the clouds allow. The village rests, held between rock and water, between past and present, between motion and stillness. And when morning comes, the valley listens again. Somewhere far above, the train begins its descent. The glacier does not speak, yet everything listens to it. Olden rests at the end of a long fjord, where green valleys narrow beneath towering walls of rock and ice. Above the village, the Briksdal Glacier stretches downward like a frozen river, its blue veins visible even from afar. Here, daily life unfolds beneath a reminder of deep time. Meltwater rushes through rivers, shaping soil and memory alike. Farmers tend land. Their families have worked for generations, adjusting crops and livestock to the slow retreat of ice. Cruise ships arrive silently in the early morning, releasing thousands of visitors who stand in awe for a few hours before leaving again. By evening, the valley is quiet once more. Children learn patience here. They learn that change happens slowly and that nothing important moves quickly. The glacier watches. It always has, long before roads reached this valley, before ships traced the fjord's edge, before names were given to rivers and farms. Ice shaped the land patiently, pressing and pulling, carving the wide U-shaped valley that now holds the village. Even in retreat, the glacier remains present. Its melt feeds waterfalls that thunder down cliff faces in spring and soften into silver threads by late summer. Its cold breath lingers in the air on clear mornings, a sharp reminder that the mountain above is still alive, still moving, still deciding the future. Residents live with an awareness that few visitors ever fully grasp. They know the sound of shifting ice in warm weather. They notice when the glacier's edge pulls back another few meters. Photographs on walls tell quiet stories of what once was closer, heavier, more dominant. Yet life continues, grounded and practical. Sheep graze on impossibly green fields. Tractors move slowly along narrow roads. Coffee steams in kitchens with windows facing the fjord. The presence of ice does not inspire fear here, but respect. In winter, snow settles into the valley, softening edges and muting sound. The glacier blends into the mountains, less visible but no less powerful. In summer, it glows pale blue against dark rock, drawing eyes upward again and again. Olden lives beneath this silent witness, not overshadowed, but shaped. Every season, every harvest, every departure and return happens under its gaze. The glacier does not speak, but it remembers, and in Olden, memory is part of daily life. Smoke rises straight into winter air, undisturbed by wind. Røros sits high on a plateau, where winters are long and cold enough to demand respect. The town was built around copper mining, and its layout reflects a time when survival depended on cooperation and restraint. Dark wooden houses cluster tightly together, conserving warmth. Their walls have absorbed centuries of stories, of miners descending before dawn, of families waiting for their return, of endurance practiced quietly. Life here is deliberate. Tools are repaired, not replaced. Food is preserved, not wasted. People speak carefully, as if words too should be conserved against the cold. Children walk to school across streets that look much the same as they did generations ago. Their modern clothing stands in gentle contrast to the historic setting, a reminder that Røros is not frozen in time. It is simply moving at its own pace. This is not preservation, it is continuity. The past here is not displayed behind glass, it is carried forward in routine. In the way snow is cleared from doorways, in how neighbours greet one another, in the steady rhythm of work that follows daylight rather than clocks. In winter, darkness settles early, and homes glow softly against the snow. Candles flicker in windows, not for effect, but because they always have. In summer, the sun lingers late, warming timber walls that have endured centuries of frost. Røros does not perform its history, it lives it. And in the quiet between footsteps on packed snow, the town continues, unchanged, yet fully alive. Dawn begins without ceremony. Reine rests in the Lofoten Islands, where mountains rise straight from the sea like sharpened stone. The village exists because the cod return every winter, just as they have for 1,000 years. Fishing boats slip out quietly before sunrise. Nets are repaired by hand, often passed down through families. The sea here is generous, but never forgiving. Children grow up learning tides before clocks, weather before schedules. They understand early that nature sets the terms. When storms arrive, life pauses. When the sea calms, work resumes. In Reine, survival is a conversation with water. Red fishermen's cabins stand on stilts above the shoreline, their reflections trembling with every shift of tide. Drying racks line the rocks, heavy with fish in season, empty and silent in others. The rhythm of the village follows the sea's decisions. There is no argument, only adaptation. When the day ends, boats return one by one, and the harbour grows still beneath towering peaks. The mountains watch, the sea decides. For weeks the sun does not rise. Tromsø lies far above the Arctic Circle, where light is seasonal and time behaves differently. During the polar night, streets glow under artificial lamps and windows become constellations. Life adapts. Schools, research centres and hospitals operate as they always do. People walk with purpose, aware of both beauty and danger in the Arctic environment. In summer, the opposite occurs. The sun refuses to set. Sleep becomes a conscious decision. Children play late into the night. The city never quite darkens. Tromsø does not resist nature, it adjusts. Cafes become gathering places during the long dark months, filled with quiet conversation and warm light. people learn to recognize fatigue not by the sky, but by their bodies. In winter, the northern lights drift silently overhead, turning ordinary evenings into moments of shared wonder. In summer, curtains grow heavy and clocks replace sunsets. Here, life is measured not by hours but by endurance and by the calm acceptance of extremes. No trees, no shelter, only horizon. The Finnmark Plateau stretches endlessly, shaped by wind and ice. Life here is sparse by necessity, not choice. Reindeer migration defines the year. People move with the herds, following patterns older than written history. Survival depends on observation, patience, and restraint. Silence here is not emptiness, it is awareness. Footsteps travel far across frozen ground. Wind becomes a language. Small changes in snow and sky carry meaning for those who know how to read them. Life on the plateau teaches restraint, to take only what is needed, to move only when necessary. In this vast openness, attention becomes survival and stillness becomes knowledge. Language fills the air. Karasjok is the cultural and political heart of the Sámi people. Here, tradition is not ceremonial, it is practical. The Sámi parliament stands alongside schools where children learn their language as a first tongue. Media, governance, and art operate in parallel with reindeer herding and traditional crafts. Duoji, Sámi handicraft, is created in homes, each piece carrying family history and purpose. Modern systems exist here, but they serve identity rather than replace it. Daily life moves between past and present without conflict. Snowmobiles follow ancient migration routes. Digital broadcasts carry stories rooted in oral tradition. In Karasjok, culture is not preserved. It is practiced, spoken, worn, and lived. Night settles gently over the islands. Lights reflect across still water. Mountains soften into silhouettes. Villages turn inward. After long days shaped by weather and work, evenings are for quiet. Conversations lower, windows glow. The sea listens. Boats rest against the docks, their lines creaking softly with the tide. The air cools, carrying salt and the distant call of seabirds settling for the night. Inside, kitchens become gathering places. Meals are simple, shared without hurry. Outside, the sky deepens, or in summer, never fully darkens at all. In Lofoten, night is not an ending. It is a pause, held gently between sea and mountain. Along Norway's southern coast, Sørlandet, the pace doesn't slow all at once. It eases. White wooden houses appear first, lining narrow streets in Grimstad, Risør, and Lillesand. Their walls reflect the sea light, changing colour with the hour. Harbours remain calm, protected by islands that soften the open ocean. In Arendal and Mandal, boats arrive and depart with quiet precision. Ferries glide in on schedule, not rushed, not delayed. This is a coastline shaped by centuries of sailing and trade. Docks and warehouses still sit close to homes and cafes, reminders that work here was never separate from daily life. The sea provided opportunity but demanded order, and that order remains. The climate is gentler than in the north and west. Winters pass without extremes. Summers stretch long into the evening. Life unfolds in steady sequences rather than sharp contrasts. People walk more than they hurry. Conversations linger. Doors stay open a little longer. As daylight fades, the sea takes over, water darkens, lights appear along the shoreline. And the coast settles into a rhythm designed not for speed, but for staying. The river never stops speaking. Voss sits between mountains and water, known for both farming and adventure. Life here balances routine with risk. Mornings begin with work, in fields, workshops, or tourism. Afternoons often shift outdoors. Young people train in kayaking, skiing, and paragliding. Nature is not background here, it is participation. Evenings are for recovery and rest. The town slows as daylight softens against the slopes. Gear dries by doorways. Muscles ache in familiar ways. Conversations revolve around weather, river levels, and plans shaped by the mountains. The sound of water remains constant, a low presence threading through streets and homes. It reminds everyone that tomorrow will bring movement again. In Voss, strength is not loud. It is built quietly, day after day, in partnership with the land. Norway does not conclude. Villages breathe. Water moves. Light shifts. The day ends. Another begins. Nothing is finished. The rhythm continues.